Hello friends, this is Lindsay from Chickens and Roots. I wanted to get on here today and share with you my spring garden plan, what I'm planting in it. My spring garden plan, I just planned it out on a graph paper, and basically one square is considered a square foot, so that's kind of how I lay it out. I just draw it out like row for row. I have 2 foot rows, 2 foot rows between most of the vegetables, except for right here I have 3 feet because zucchini and squash will just spread all over. They're bushes, but they kind of spread and cover, like they get big. And then this is my arch. I'm gonna put vine stuff on it. We're gonna start with peas. And then I'm going to plant melons and pumpkins. My pumpkins done really well last year on here. So I'm going to experiment some more with them. And then this is a space in our garden we can't really use. It's full of gravel, and it's a very low point. It sinks. So right now we're just using it as a compost area for when we clean up our garden. So pretty simple garden plan. There's plenty of ways you can go about writing out your plan. This is just one of the ways I started doing. It kind of helps me get a realization of how many plants of each thing I actually will need. So I'm gonna start with the arch, what we're growing on the arch. Our arch is, well, it's as big as my greenhouse. It's two 16-foot cow panels, 16 by 4. So you'll get like 8 feet on each side. And last year, I grew pumpkins on it and melons, and the pumpkins done really well. My melons, they did not. But I believe it was because the pumpkins outgrew the melons and they shaded them. So I swapped it up a little bit. I'm putting the arch on the opposite side of my garden. And I'm also going to make sure to plant, I'm going to swap how I plant them. I'm going to do pumpkins closer to the tree line and then melons in front of them so they'll get the sun first. So we'll see how that goes. These are some that I have grew, some I haven't. It's all experimental, which I would love to just have a pumpkin patch one day. I love the pumpkin patch, so I just want to grow pumpkins. And I love melons. My family loves all the different types of melons. So we are gonna start with, I guess we'll do pumpkins. This is one pumpkin I'm growing. A Jarrahdale pumpkin. I just really want to grow it because of the color of it. It's so pretty. Is that not the prettiest color? I tried to grow these last year, I didn't have any luck. So I'm going to try again this year. We've got a Blue Doll pumpkin. It's hard to tell because it's been ripped. The Blue Doll, it done really good. I had 3 medium-sized pumpkins come out of it last year, and it was really pretty too. So I'm going to try that again. And these, I think both of these varieties, they can get, okay, never mind. This is a small pumpkin variety, and this is a large pumpkin variety. So you can grow a really big pumpkin. You can grow a 20 to 30 pound pumpkin out of this if you wanted to. I don't need a 20 to 30 pound pumpkin. I just want some for decoration. And I also used these to make pumpkin pie. I canned some of these after I got done decorating with them. And I made pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. So, pretty cool. So, definitely a keeper because I can it. I can use it for more than one purpose. Says you can eat this too. I don't know much about this one, so I can't say a whole lot about that one. And then I'm going to try Pumpkin Show Winner. This is a king size pumpkin with king size qualities, it says. You can have different colors of pumpkins, so that's kind of why I decided to try growing that, because I want to see if I can get different colors. You can't tell I like all the color in my garden. I'm going to grow peas. Nothing special about peas. I just do the sugar snap peas. I'm going to actually plant them before, a little bit earlier. I already started some in my greenhouse, and I'm going to try to plant them starts in the arch before I plant the pumpkins. My kids love sugar snap peas. They'll just eat the pods. I didn't have any luck with keeping them around the house because they would just eat them right off the vine. Like, it's their favorite thing. So I'm definitely going to try to have more of these for this garden season. And here's another pumpkin I'm going to try. Long Island cheese pumpkin. These have long storage capacity. Cucumbers. Nothing special about these. These are... I don't even know where I got these. I've had these for years. I've been growing them for 2 or 3 years. Well, probably longer than that. Maybe 4 years. These are just a pickling variety. I'm sure you could probably get them at Walmart or the Dollar General. Okay, we had 6 cucumber plants last year of this variety. And oh my goodness, we had so many cucumbers. I made so many pickles last year. So, I'm only going to do maybe a couple of plants just for fresh picking because I don't need more pickles at the moment. Melons. These are all varieties I've never grown, or I haven't had luck with growing them. Well, this is a new variety, the Kajari melon. I tried to grow these last year, which I told you my melons didn't do good, so I didn't get anything out of them really. Like what I got was it would shrivel up before it ever done anything, or it was really small. I think these actually are supposed to be small, but I just wanted to try them out. And then honeydew melon. I'm gonna try them out. The honeydew melon. Jubilee watermelon. I've never tried Jubilee watermelon, so this will be a fun experience to see if I have any luck with them. And then a Golden Jenny melon. I think this is similar to cantaloupe. My daughter loves cantaloupe. Fresh cantaloupe out of the garden. It's so much better than the store-bought cantaloupe. So we're going to try our hand on that this year. So that's everything on the arch. Really, I can't grow a whole lot because I only have like, you can only grow like 4 melons on one side of my arch. Because you've got to separate them 2 feet apart. So I have to that's why I'm trying the different varieties of the melons and the pumpkin. Just because I want to see which ones do well and which ones don't do so great. It's just an experiment, really. These are kind of out of order, but I'm just going to go ahead and do these because they were in this packet. Green beans. Green beans. I picked so many green beans last year. I canned so many green beans last year. But it still wasn't enough green beans. So this year, I'm upping my green bean. I just get the bush variety green beans that they're not vined. Let's see. Kitchen Kings one. These are a mix. These are seeds that I kept from the plants I planted last year of my purple, my yellow, and my green beans. So I'm just going to throw these back in the ground and see if they do anything this year. This is Cantera or Cantera. This is a new variety. I've never tried this, so we will see how it goes. Last year I had 1 row of green beans. This year I'm going to make it 2 rows. And oh, I was sick of picking green beans last year, so it's definitely going to be a commitment if they do well this year. And then okra. Itchy okra. I'm planting, let's see, Clemson spineless okra. I've done this in the past. I've probably used this seed the last 2 or 3 years, and it's done pretty good so far. I feel like maybe the tomatoes were too tall, the tomato plants, and it took some of the sun away. But they done really good the year before that. I still had okra though throughout the end of the summer. It got taller than me. I couldn't even reach the okra pods anymore. So it was still a pretty good harvest. I had like 6, and I had a ton of okra that I froze. We like to eat it breaded. And then this Bowling Red okra, that one done pretty good last year too. This is a new one, Burmese okra. I think I'm just going to mix it in and try the different ones, throw them in together. Obviously you need pollinators in your garden. So I always make sure to put flowers, and I also enjoy cutting them. I love picking flowers out of my garden and putting them in vases. I love all the pollinators, and the vegetables need all the pollinators, so it's definitely a necessity to have flowers in your garden. Of course, the classic sunflowers. Everybody does sunflowers, I'm sure. They're easy to grow. They get tall. Great pollinators. Sunflowers. Autumn Beauty Mixed Colors. This is one of my favorite I've ever grown. They're so pretty. I love them. They get really tall too. Jua Maya Hybrid. They're okay. I mean, I guess yellow's not my favorite color, but I do like the mix of the different colors of sunflowers and I like the variety, the color variety. So, of course, I figured I'm going to plant yellow too. This is a new one, Chocolate Cherry Sunflower. Never grew this before. I'm excited to see what it looks like. So we will see. Another one of my favorite flowers to grow in the garden, and the easiest to grow. So easy. So pretty to pick. There's so many varieties, so many colors. And I've got all new ones this year to try. Zinnia or Zenna. I don't know which one it is. If it's Zenna or Zinnia. Please tell me in the comments what you call it. This one is Queen Lime. That looks pretty. It's like a lime green. I thought that would be interesting to see. I like the bright colors. This one is probably going to be my favorite. It looks like it's going to be my favorite. Queen Lime Red. Look at how pretty that is. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they all look like. And then Salmon. I think salmon will be pretty too. Another flower that I really love planting in my garden. Cosmos. They do really well too. So those are my, if I was going to plant any flowers in my actual garden where I'm growing my food, those would be my top 3. Sunflowers, Zinnia, and Cosmos. That would be my top 3 to plant for pollinators. Now another one I would plant, I always plant in my garden is marigolds. Marigolds are very good to keep pests away. So that is one reason I always make sure to plant some marigolds. Like I'll kind of put them, I'll just mix them in the garden in different places. And I mean, I feel like for the most part it's done a really good job of keeping the pest away. So I'm going to keep doing it. Now, back to food. Sweet early gold, my corn, sweet corn. Early golden Batman corn. Now I have several different corns. I love the idea of having the decorative corns and all the multicolor corns. I've got purple corn, I've got blue corn. Oh, I grew this one in the fall last year that was like a red. It was really pretty. But you cannot plant different varieties of corn together because they'll cross-pollinate, unless you don't care if they cross-pollinate. So this is our eating corn. So what I'll probably do is hopefully we'll have a really good harvest this year. It'll be planted in the spring. And then in the fall, I'll plant fall corn, like for decorative or popcorn or, you know, those kinds of varieties. My corn didn't do very good last year. The year before, it done awesome. Oh, there ain't nothing like a fresh corn on the cob right off the stalk. That is the best. I am not a corn on the cob fan. I do not like corn on the cob because it gets stuck in your teeth. It squirts everywhere. But if you pull a fresh corn on the cob off the vine, it is so much better. It's not tough. It's like the perfect soft, the perfect sweet. It's amazing. You need to do it. If you've never tried a fresh corn on the cob right off of the stalk, you need to do it because it's good. Zucchini and squashes. This is a butternut squash. Let's see. Waltham butternut squash. I don't know anything about this other than it keeps well and you can make soups with it or you can roast it. And Gill's golden pippin squash. I've never grew this before. So I'm going to try it because I like the acorn shape. And I could use it for decorative too if I wanted. We don't really eat a whole lot of squash, and our squash doesn't really do good. We haven't had a whole lot of luck. Well, with this one we haven't. The yellow crookneck squash. I've planted this the last, I want to say 3 years, which I'm sure it's went down the germination rate. But even when they germinate, I just haven't had any luck with it. So, I don't know, it may be my soil. So, I kind of want to just venture out and try some different squashes that might actually do better in my soil. And then, summer squash zucchini. My zucchini always does well. I've never had any problem with my zucchini squash. It's very prolific. The only issue is when it gets really, really hot towards the end, squash bugs will take it over. I haven't found a good way to get rid of squash bugs. I just try to get as much as I can before the squash bugs get it. And honestly, I don't feel like squash or zucchini freezes well as far as if you wanted to cook it, like fry it. I haven't had any luck with it anyway. You can make zucchini bread. You can do stuff like that or bake with it. So maybe that's what I'll do with mine. But it don't really do well. Like the freezer does something to it. So pretty much we just eat that fresh. I love to eat breaded zucchini from the air fryer. It's really good. If you can take a guess, what's next? What does most gardeners like to grow in their garden? And a lot of it. tomatoes and peppers. Oh, and some basil. So I will start with basil. Basil's really good to plant with. It's a very good companion plant, they say, with tomatoes. I don't know how true that is, but I've always, I mean, I haven't had any bad luck with it. Like, so, and I like, oh, the smell of basil's so amazing. And even picking basil and putting it in a vase it's really pretty for a flower arrangement. So you can make tea with it. My daughter, she's really into tea, so she likes to make different kinds of teas and stuff. So sweet basil first. Italian large leaf basil. I have never grew either one of these. I've grew summer long basil and holy basil. This is the next one I've got, as a matter of fact, holy basil. Now to my tomatoes. My biggest goal that I want to do for Garden 2024 is can more. I really want to get into sauces like ketchup, marinara, salsa, tomato paste, barbecue sauce. I really want to try to make some barbecue sauce. So I have upped my tomato game this year. I don't know if I'll have enough. Last year I had like 6 tomato plants, and I just didn't get enough to really do anything with as far as canning. I did make some salsa. As far as sauces and stuff, I just didn't really get to do a whole lot. I made a couple of small batches of marinara, and it was so good. It was the best marinara sauce I've ever had. So this year I'm hoping to do more of sauces and canning. Like, I also would like not just sauces, I would like to do diced tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, because Roma tomatoes are supposed to be good for sauces. San Marzano, I believe these are similar to Roma tomatoes. That'll be good for sauces too. Then I've got a couple of just like bite-sized snack tomatoes I'm going to try. I don't know much about them. Hartman's Yellow Gooseberry. We don't really eat tomatoes. I mean, we eat sauces and salsa. But as far as fresh tomatoes, my family does not eat them. But I really would like to like tomatoes more. So I'm trying to experiment with different varieties and see if I would like eating them fresh or in a salad. I have ate cherry tomatoes in a salad. The ones I had in the last couple of years they didn't really give me any kind of wow factor. But a couple of years ago I had some that I'm pretty sure I bought from the store, and I don't remember what variety they was. But they were pretty good on tacos and salads. So I'm hoping I can find that snacking cherry tomato or bite-sized tomato that I actually like. And if I don't like it, chickens love tomatoes. I'll go to waste. Somebody will eat it around here. And then the next snack tomato, it's called a green grape tomato. A green grape tomato. And then these are all new variety of tomatoes I'm trying. I love the variety of color in a garden. And also was looking for, like I said, ones that I can use for canning too, or multi-purpose. So most of these I'm showing you are for multi-purpose or canning. Some I did find, I think there's one or two that might be slicer tomatoes, but they're also multi-purpose. So black from Tula. I'm going to try that one. It does really well it's ideal for juicing and canning. And it says that it has a slightly smoky flavor in hotter climates, so that would be interesting to try that. because we are a hotter climate. Okay. Chocolate striped tomatoes. These are good on a salad or a sandwich. I would like to try a tomato sandwich. All the gardeners talk about how good a tomato sandwich is. I've never felt that way. So I would like to find that tomato that makes a good tomato sandwich, or for salads. This one's really pretty. I just like the way it looks, which it's also multi-purpose, like I will use it. Vintage wine tomato. It's supposed to be sweet and mild, and it's a very good all-purpose variety. So that'd be cool to maybe put in salsas, give your salsas different flavors and colors. I think that would be fun to use all the different varieties with. Using them for salsa to give it some color. Big rainbow tomato. This is also a great all-purpose variety. And that is all of my tomatoes that I'm trying out this year. Next, my peppers. Okay, this is funny. I never was a pepper fan. I like bell peppers. I like sweet peppers, but as far as any other peppers, I don't care. It's just, I never understood why so many gardeners always have all the peppers. Like, why? Because I'm like, I don't really like peppers enough to plant that many peppers. Well, now I know. Well, I'll get to that. Which obviously sweet peppers are good to put in stir fry or fajitas. I mean, you could use them for lots of different dishes. So we'll start with my sweet peppers. Zula pepper. This is a new one I've never used before. It says it's crisp with thin flesh, so I like that. That would be good in some fajitas or something. Then the regular California Wonder Peppers. I have not had any luck with California Wonder Peppers. I haven't. I don't know what it is. They either won't germinate or then they germinate and they never do. They die. Like, I just haven't really had a whole lot of luck with them. Maybe it has to do with my seeds being old. Well, this one's not old. I planted this one this year. It's from 2023. Okay. This is where I'm getting at. I never understood why so many gardeners plant all the peppers and why they love peppers. Now I know. The mild jalapeno. I love, and I had no idea I loved this till I done it. When we were getting a ton of peppers the year before last, I ventured into pickling them for the fridge. Oh my gosh, pickled jalapenos are so good. Oh, they're amazing. You can eat them on hot dogs. You can eat them on nachos. You can eat them on burgers. They're so versatile. And my husband loves them. I don't know. They just give your food a little bit of a kick, and it's not spicy. Once you pickle them, it's like it's the spice gets took down some, so it's not as spicy with the sugar. Oh, they're good. I would not recommend canning them though. Canning them makes them soft. I did not know that would be the case until I done this myself. Soft pickled jalapenos just aren't that great. But I have found another use for them. I put them in my sourdough bread when I bake bread. I'll make the cheddar jalapeno sourdough loaf, and they do fine in that. So they're not going to waste. Again, I've got a different use for them. But next time I make pickled jalapenos, I'm just going to do the fridge ones. And I mean, as far as I can see, they last quite a bit in the fridge. Like, I haven't had any issues with any of them going bad. So I think that's just what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do in the spring. I'm going to pickle them and just put them in the fridge and keep them in there. Hopefully we'll have enough to get us through the winter. So yeah, pickled jalapenos, that's what you need. Another good thing with jalapenos that I discovered, only because my husband requested it. He loves bread and butter pickles, so I made a bunch of sweet pickles with my cucumbers, and then when I had more, because I still had cucumbers coming in towards probably towards the middle of the summer, and so I made a couple more batches of pickles, and he asked me to cut a jalapeno in half and throw it in the jars. I don't like pickles. I don't like nothing about pickles. I hate pickles. I just can't get past the vinegary taste, I guess. I don't know. I don't like them. Put a jalapeno in them. Perfect. The perfect taste. It's a little sweet, a little hot. It overpowers the vinegar taste. I now am a fan of hot, sweet pickles with jalapenos in them. They're good on burgers. Like, it's just so funny because I have never in my entire life liked pickles. But I'm a fan now. All because of jalapenos. My next one, pumpkin spice jalapeno. Again, I love color in my garden. They're the same as regular jalapenos, they're just a different color. Now, these are from what I understand, these are the real hot peppers. Firecracker pepper. I actually got these in it was like a surprise package of like 30 packs of seeds for my gardener for a discounted price. So that's how I ended up with them. My gardener's a good place to get seeds. $2 a pack. And they have lots of varieties. My favorite is the bundle. That's one way, if you don't want to waste your money on buying like expensive seeds that you don't even know if you're gonna like. One way to get new things to grow that you don't really know if you want to invest your money in. But the only reason I'm growing these is because I have a friend, or some friends, that like a lot of heat, and I was like, hey, I'll just give them to them. And also, it actually says you can put them in a pot and they just bush out, and they use them for decoration. So I thought those would be cool to put on the back porch for decoration, and my friends can try them out if they want to try some really hot peppers. I don't know how hot they are, but I'd be interested to see. Well, I'd be interested in letting somebody else see. Cayenne pepper. This is just an orange cayenne. It's the same as a regular cayenne. Another spicy pepper that came in my surprise bundle of seeds. Lemon drop pepper. It's spicy too, with a tangy season. It's also heat tolerant. It gets pretty hot here in Tennessee in the summers. So I was like, I'll try it out and see, and then my friends can try these too. Oh, my last one. This is actually a sweet pepper. These are some that I collected. It's a giant Marconi pepper. I bought a giant Marconi pepper plant at the store the year before last. And it's like a sweet, smoky pepper. And I think every now and then you'll get one that's kind of hot. Is that correct? Maybe that's why. Oh my gosh, I just realized. I think these, I'm not positive, but I think every now and then you'll get a hot one. Well, that makes sense now. Because when I was cutting them up, I saved some seeds in 2022 of this giant Marconi plant, and I planted them, and then I saved the seeds from this year's Marconi plant, and I'm gonna plant them, try them out this year. But I had one pepper that came off of that plant, and it was so hot, and I thought maybe it had cross-pollinated with the jalapeno plant. But I bet that's what it was, now that I think about it. Now I know. It was hot too. And let me tell you, when you mess with hot peppers, you better wear gloves. Especially when you're canning them. That's a lot of contact. I had gloves on, and somehow I still, my eyes and my nose, I like touched my nose or itched it or something, and I rubbed my eye with my hand, and my eye and my nose was on fire. So, warning. Anytime you're dealing with hot peppers, you better make sure you're wearing gloves and don't touch your face, because you will pay for it. Like, I was literally putting drops of milk in my eye and putting milk on my nose. It was ridiculous, but it sucked. I've even had my hands, when I was wearing gloves, I'd cut them up. My hands would be on fire for like 30 minutes after I'd messed with them. So they're pretty, yeah, you need to watch them peppers. Well, that is all of the stuff I'm growing in my actual in-ground garden. So I'm going to finish up with what I'm growing in my raised garden beds. And I also have green stalks back here. This has, half of this has strawberries in it. And I'm going to try to replant more strawberry plants on the rest of it. I'm hoping to make this all strawberries. Because I like to do jam. I like to make jam. So I need a lot of strawberries. I don't know how much this will produce, but that's what I'm working on, is having a lot more strawberries. And then this one, I'm wanting to put, I've actually already planted some things in it. I want to put herbs, flowers, and lettuces in it. These are some of the seeds that I have already started, and I've got little baby plants now that I've been keeping in here. So far, they're doing pretty good. I think I had one lettuce plant that looked like it might have died, but I have plenty of starts that are still living in here that I can replace it with. And my dill, I started some dill seed, and my dill looks like it died in there, but I've got some more dill, I believe, or I know I planted some more dill. It may be because they're like, they may favor the heat over the cold, because most of the stuff that's in this green stalk is cold tolerant plants. They can handle a lot of frost. And during the day it gets really hot in this greenhouse, but at nighttime it'll drastically drop. And so if it's below freezing, I don't know, 15 or 20 degrees, you might get a little freeze in here. But like cilantro, calendula, chamomile, and lettuces, broccoli I think does fine, peas do fine. They all do pretty good in the cold. But then you got other plants that are very heat tolerant, and so they're not going to do well in the cold or a light frost. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to grow. I have 4, well, I don't have them yet. I have 2 right now. On the outside of this greenhouse, I have 2 raised, what are they called? I can't think of what the name is for them. They're metal, but there's a name for them. I believe they're like 2x4. I have one on each side, 2x4 metal raised beds. I've got 2 more that are supposed to be delivered sometime today. So, oh, I forgot to bring my other stuff out here. Well, I'll just tell you. My plan for the raised garden beds, I actually already have some garlic planted in this one on this side. I planted that in like November, I think. So there's garlic in that side. I just planted some garlic bulbs from the store. And then on this one, on this side, I'm planning on planting seeded potatoes. I got the yellow Yukon seeded potatoes, and then I got the purple potatoes. So I'm going to do one with yellow potatoes, and I'm going to do the other one with purple potatoes. And then this other bed that's going to be here, I'm going to put onion. I have onion bulbs in it. Now, I have not heard good things about onion bulbs, so I'm going to start some onion seeds too when I start my peppers and my tomato plants. So, but I'm going to go ahead and plant some bulbs in this raised bed with my garlic. Or no, I don't think I am going to do that. I'm going to plant carrots on one side of this bed where the garlic is, and then I'm going to plant half of the other bed with the onion bulbs, and then the other half of it with carrots, because onions and garlic are really good at deterring pests, so I thought that might help with the carrots. But that's what I'm planning on growing in them. I'll go ahead and show you what I've got. I've tried to seed onions or grow onions. I've never had any luck with them, so this is an experiment too. Walla Walla onions. I just got these from one of our stores here in town. So I'm going to plant them because from what I've researched and heard, onions planted from seed do much better than bulb onions, because the difference is the size. Bulb onions don't get as big, and plus you don't know exactly what variety you're getting, where if you buy a pack of onion seeds, you know what variety you're getting. So that's gonna be an experiment. I'm gonna see how that goes. And then I've got all kinds of different carrots. I don't have any special carrots. I haven't found the special carrot because I haven't had any luck with carrots. Germinating carrots is a pain in the rear end. To be honest, they're a pain. And we love carrots, but I am not good at staying on top of keeping them watered, I guess. Well, I know. I'm just not good at staying on top of them. So, I figured, since I have these raised beds, I would be more adamant about keeping them watered. Because it's close to the house. You know, I'm not going to have to drag the hose pipe all the way out. And, so I'm going to try really hard. I'm going to keep trying to grow carrots till I'm successful with them. But these are they're Denver carrots. And then I've got a rainbow blend of carrots. And then this is from My Gardener Homestead collection of carrots. I haven't tried these. Or did I try these? I don't think I've tried these yet. And then I got these with my green stock. I've got 2 packs of these because they give you a free pack of seeds when you get a green stock. Scarlet Mantis carrot. So that concludes what I'm growing in my raised beds. Now these are just some extra flowers that I wanted to share with you that I'm going to try to make starts and probably plant pots around here and maybe throw them in the garden in different spots if something doesn't make it. Or I've got some flower beds by the house. So these are just some that I'm going to try just because I would love to be able to start all my flowers from seeds instead of going and having to buy packs of flowers. I love flowers. That's where my love of gardening started, was flowers. So instead of having to go get flowers from the store that have already been started, I would like to start my own, but you have to plant them really early to, have them do anything when spring gets here, because I like to see flowers as soon as spring gets here. And so that's why I've tried to start some early, or maybe they'll have blooms a little bit earlier. So here's what I got. This is actually not a flower, but this is one that I want to grow just because it's pretty. Coleus. This is actually a shade plant. It can, I mean, you can grow it in the sun, but if you grow it in the sun, it'll just stay green. But it'll get that really rich purple color if it's in the shade. So I just think it's pretty. I might put it in my green stalk, or I might put it in a pot on the porch. Something like that. Celosia Rainbow Sherbet. This is just something I've experimented with. Last year I ordered them online and I planted a few, and I mean, I don't think I planted enough to really enjoy them, because they like grow up in like one stem, and they kind of just, well, as you can see, they kind of and I also started them late, like later on in the season. So I'm gonna try to start some of these early, and I think they would be pretty in, you know, bouquets of flowers. Echinacea. I don't know anything much about this plant. But I do think it comes back. It comes back every year. So I thought that would be pretty to have something that actually comes back every year. So I'm gonna try it. Amaranth. This is actually something my daughter wanted to plant. She thought it was really pretty. She's got her own little garden bed out here, so it's like the perfect height. And she likes to plant different stuff in it, so she's gonna plant that in there. Oh, these are a new I experimented with dahlias last year. This one is the pompon dahlia. And then this one is Unwindsdorf mix. The reason I really like these, they're really pretty when they bloom, but like I said, I started, like most of my flowers, I started them later last year, so I didn't really get to enjoy the full effect of them. So I'm hoping to plant these earlier. But what I discovered about these was they have tubers, which I think's pretty cool, because if it has tubers, then it means that I can use the tubers. I can just plant the tubers, or I can separate the tubers and make more plants out of them. So that's why I wanted to do that one, because they're pretty for one, and also they have tubers. I've got a indoor plant. Well, it's an indoor or outdoor plant in the summer. It can't be out in the winter. But it's called an asparagus fern. It's a really pretty greenery. It does well inside in the summer, or it does well inside in the winter, and it does well outside in the summer. You can separate that one. It has tubers, and I've made 3 or 4 different plants out of that one. So I just like the idea of being able to separate them and make more plants, because you know I love all the plants. And then the last one, this is probably the most common where I live. Petunias. That's what they have a lot of. Our local greenhouses around, well, our local greenhouses have them. And I just love petunias because they grow well till frost. They spread. They're a good ground covering. And hummingbirds love them too. Also, hummingbirds love that celosia I was telling you about. Is it in here? Oh yeah. Hummingbirds love this too. That's another reason I wanted to grow it, because I love seeing hummingbirds. But they love petunias too. Well, I mean, there's another flower in the garden that they loved too, and I can't remember which one it was. Well, anyway, I would like to start petunias, and it would be nice if I could start them early and instead of having to go to my local Lowe's and buy them, like I could just plant them in my pots where I grew them from seed. Okay, well, that's all I have got for today. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you got any tips on any of the stuff I'm growing, because I'm not, I'm not an expert at growing. I just learn. I learn by experience, or I learn something new every year. So, or tell me, what are you growing? What are you growing in your garden this year? What are you most excited about growing? Are you gonna do some canning? I'm gonna get off here now because it's about time to go in. The sun's going down. So I hope y'all have a great day and plant some seeds. Bye. See you.